without further ado, let's just dive into the series of questions. The first one, I guess, really starting to share with everybody who you are, right? Getting to know who you are, where you're from, why you do what you do. So I guess the introduction question, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So everything that I do, in real estate in life is I want to simplify success so that people can see that whatever they want to pursue, whatever they set their mind to, that they can do it. And a lot of times, people, I know I've gone through it. We see something, an opportunity or something we want to pursue, and we don't necessarily know the steps or the resources. So we stop. And so that's been really my life's passion, is to simplify things so that it's very simple, easy to, execute and direct to fulfill your heart's desire. So a little bit about me is, I saw an opportunity to, jokingly with some friends in high school, pursue applying to be an administrative assistant at a real estate office. And they hired me, Converse sneakers and hoodie and all, right?
Love it.
Which was, not what I ended up wearing because of their advice. But I quickly saw an opportunity in the real estate industry to fill a gap with the consumer experience and, what was going on between the realtor and the consumer, not getting calls back, being able to up-level that experience. And so that was that opportunity that I saw. So in 2006, I started as a single agent and, was in a new area. And of course, the recession hit. So that was really the school of hard knocks to learn how to execute a business plan day in and day out so that I could get the results that I wanted. Wow. And then from there, I started building my real estate team. And, that's what we're doing today is residential real estate. I've done some development and building as well. And just really want to, again, simplify things so that people, take that complication out of success.
Sure. And I mean, that's absolutely incredible to go through. And you're talking about back in 2006, it's, you've seen different shifts and changes in the market. You continue to grow and excel in what you did and continue to do. And, that's absolutely inspiring to really take a look at that. Now, what was when you initially got involved, and I'm always curious about this, is why real estate? It doesn't matter what age. I mean, everybody has a different answer into this category, but why did you take that first step? What was it going through your head at the time?
Yeah. So the thing that was really attractive about real estate is that there are no limits. And if there was a word that, anyone that knows me would use, it's limitless. Like that is my word. There's anything is possible. So I love that about real estate, that it is what you make of it. It's such, a match for life in general. And so that was what was really interesting to me about real estate. I could go as fast or as slow as I wanted. I could, bring in that creativity if I wanted, or I could hire out that creativity. I could really design it. And so that was the biggest part, I would say, is just that like unlimited potential to create what I wanted to.
Wow. And what a beautiful reason to get involved. And again, just not having a glass ceiling or anything involved, really going as far and as fast as you want into your life. And so when you mention limitless, it brings up a thought into my mind, and you're doing so many things with business and helping so many professionals out there, not just your clients and the team and everybody that's involved in your world, but also just giving back. So you're working on several projects and going on. There's course that, we could talk about, which I'd love to share with the audience, as well as coaching. So could you share a little bit about that, just with everybody who's watching or listening, kind of what you're working on?
Yeah. So, a recent shift in this last year that has been everything to be able to work on these different projects, has been to be in my zone of genius and be that visionary and that big risk taker that I am, and then surround myself with the people that love to execute or, love to be in the details so that they can be in that realm and I can be in my zone. And so
perfect.
What we're doing is we've created a lot of, internal processes and tracking and tools over the last 15 years that literally match the exact strategies that I've used to build my real estate company. So we're putting that into a course so that people can, whether they're a new agent, and they want that business framework, that blueprint, how to go from, 0 to 6 figures, or if they are an experienced agent and maybe they're at six figures or multiple six figures, but they've lost the balance, there is that like mindset aspect to it as well.
Huge.
So that they can weave that in.
Okay.
So that's one aspect. And then, my true purpose, I would say, in life is another aspect, which is really helping people understand freedom and fulfillment. And that's part of the coaching that I'm working on with women, entrepreneurs and leaders, is to really get to the bottom of those subconscious limiting beliefs and programs that are holding them back, really address it at the root so that there can be that inside out success that's sustainable no matter what. And then one other thing I'm super excited about is, I had a lot of people believe in me when I was getting started, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, giving back. And so my grandfather's nickname was BIM, which also could be an acronym for Believe in Me. And I'm working with the first two young entrepreneurs right now that are just starting their businesses, one that's 20, and just taking her through a framework, so that she can then teach her peers. And so that will be like the philanthropic work to just show people that anything's possible.
Wow. And Stacy, again, that's just further showcasing to everybody out there who maybe doesn't know you as a person or a professional to really experience what you do and why you do it. I mean, it's really giving back and sharing and helping others. And again, we've all received that guidance at some time frame in our lives, or some kind of helping hand. And I love the fact that you are returning the favor and then some. So as far as the course and the coaching, what's the best way for everybody who's watching or listening to get a hold of you and that information?
Yes. So the best way is going to my website, which is limitlesswithstacyb.com. And then, like I had said before we went live, I'll share some other resources with you so that can be shared.
Love that. And everybody, will have links in the comments down below, as always, so that you can link up with Stacy and learn more about it if this interests you and really, strikes a nerve as far as moving forward and taking action. So, Stacy, I do want to dive into the tactical formation of this particular series and episode. And that's the second question that comes down to it. It is looking back at your career. And if you could go back and pinpoint or pick or choose one or two things that you really added to your business that took it from one level to the next, where you really saw movement in the needle forward into a higher scale, what advice would you give anybody who's watching or listening with that?
Yeah. So what I had done is I implemented a simple, easy to transfer, numbers on what I did every day, as far as like outgoing lead generation activity with clients. And it's so easy to get into, the frame of mind, that like, how many people do I need to call? How many appointments do I need to set? I mean, and you can get stuck in all of that. And so the thing that I did that, took me from 6 million to 32 million in 18 months was, as far as production is concerned, volume, was I set the simple plan in place, which was I called 20 people a day and set the intention prior to calling, in that session of calling, that I needed to find 2 appointments. I needed to go on 2 listing appointments, and I always focus on listings because then you can, leverage those as you're showing buyers. That focus allowed it so that if the 20 people were called, that intention was so strong that I would get like a call from another referral or something, because I'd set that in motion of what my purpose was, that I'm calling these people, that it could come from any way, any direction rather. So that was the biggest change, and doing that consistently. And then, day in and day out, no matter what, it was simple enough that I didn't have to, worry about, I need to find that sheet or guide or whatever that I need to go back to. I just had in my head, 20 calls a day, 2 appointments. Like that's it. And if I do that every day, it really exponentially explodes, right? In the best way.
Yeah. And gosh, I love that, Stacy, because there's so many different answers to that question and help to grow and scale business. And I think that you're talking about something that is the bedrock of true professionals, and it's that consistency and not overcomplicating things. As you stated earlier, really simplifying it to what the highest and best uses of our time are. And you pinpointed that. You took a look at that and said, hey, if I make these 20 calls and I'm consistently doing it, I'm going to see that move forward. And I think that there's so many professionals who are watching or listening, and myself included, where a lot of times we're so busy and we fill our days with all these activities, but are they revenue generating activities? Are they moving the needle? And the fact that you had the discipline and continue to say, this is what I'm doing every day at these timeframes and these 20 calls minimum, that's really helping the conversation, building rapport, and moving that needle forward. For anybody out there who really wants to dive deeper into this or go back to it, as far as I'm concerned, what advice would you give to them? I mean, were you following any kind of initial scripting? Was it just more natural engagement conversations? And then I guess furthermore, where did these contacts come from? Are they warm sphere? Are they lead generation? Are they referral business? Like where did you get that list of the 20 calls for every day? Just for people watching.
Yeah, of course. So one thing that I tell people is choose a form of lead generation that you like, because if you enjoy, being with people, networking, going the open house route is going to support your long-term success versus trying to, fit into the mode of sitting in your chair cold calling all day. Like that's not you. So don't try to be something you're not.
Ooh, love that.
And so if you can focus on that, okay, you enjoy open houses, or in the case that we're on the phone calling people, is choose that form of lead generation. So for example, if that is your sphere of influence, calling those people with first the intention to contribute in some way. So think of like before you call your 20 people, what is it that I can provide? Maybe those 20 people live in a certain area or, suburb or something like that. Like you could section it off so that when you call these 20 people, you can speak specifically to what the market's doing in that area or county or something like that.
Great advice.
Batch it in a way. And then you can add value, do a check-in on, what are your real estate plans for this year or next year? And then ask them if there's anyone they know that you need to know that might need, to buy or sell, and give them a little assignment in good fun, that if they want to, think about it for a couple of days, that you'll call back, make sure to then schedule that so you don't forget, and then reach back out. And what's so cool about it is it turns into this game for everyone, that everyone wants to win and succeed together. So I think that the script, is something like, and I've done things like I'm in a competition when we were doing competitions as a team to sell as many houses by the end of the year as possible. Is there anyone that I can help? And I find that just coming from contribution, that place of contribution, that's the highest level of service. And that's what people, really want, is they want that professional, that expert that they can trust. Right. And so positioning yourself that way makes it so it's not, so scripted or salesy, which a lot of people want to avoid.
Right. And people can feel the intention too. If it's coming through and it really is a one-sided sort of scenario, that they'll know that right off the bat. But if I'm getting a call from Stacy and I know that it's from a good place, a place of contribution, and really how can I serve? And, by the way, this is what I'm doing if you want to reciprocate, because that's a healthy relationship. I think that that's a great way to go about it. And your intentionality behind it is so inspiring. And then the consistency. What would you say? And this is just completely off the cuff, but I think that a lot of people really need to hear this, because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. Success doesn't happen, just by making a few calls and doing this from time to time. So if you could say, what was the longest standpoint that you made these calls, and what could people expect to invest in something like this? Is it months? Is it years? What are we looking at that way? I mean, just to prepare everybody, for what's ahead.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So when I first used the 20 person, approach, it was to a group of people that I knew pretty well.
Okay.
And I asked them for 2 referrals. And within 45 minutes, I did get 7 qualified referrals.
Wow.
So that's like extreme, like best case.
Sure.
And then I think if you consistently do this, even for a month,
Mhm.
like you will see your pipeline filled so quickly.
Mm.
But doing this, even just because real estate can get crazy,
Sure.
and you do have to have that element of adapting to people's schedules and showing houses and everything, is
Mhm.
even if you just commit to successfully doing 3 days a week of this intense, 20 calls a day,
Mhm.
so that you're not letting yourself down. Because there's that element of, if you go for perfection and you slide, especially in sales, you need
Yeah.
your mindset to be right. And so you don't need
Correct.
also the part of you beating yourself up.
Mm.
So just, even if you commit to 3 days a week at that volume and just do that consistently for 3 months, you will see such a jump in your business, and
Wow.
continue to do that. I mean, it's what will help you survive in a good market and take all the business in a recession when everyone else is getting out of the business.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that breakdown. And I know everybody's appreciating this like crazy, because this is just really, really peeling back the layers of the onion to get deep in there. And I think that when it comes down to that, and what I really appreciate about you, Stacy, is you're looking at it from the standpoint of whether the market's up or whether the market's down or inside out, whatever it may be, doing the fundamentals and the basics on a continual basis is crucial. And I think that a lot of professionals out there, everybody starts building, prospecting. And then we get wrapped up in the daily business. And the problem is that you get wrapped up working, in your business and not on it. So you're busy, you finish transactions, then you're back where you started. So
Right.
continuously, no matter what's going on, is prospecting, making those calls, putting yourself out there through intentionality and consistency. That's huge. That is a game changer all by itself. I mean, that's the worth the price of admission, everybody, right now, right here, period. But so Stacy, is there anything else you want to mention? I mean, that was a wealth of knowledge, but is there anything else that comes to mind? Or is that good as far as that, just giving everybody a little bit?
Yeah, I think just one last thing is, the piece about real estate that freaks most people out, even if you're in the business, is just that fear of the peaks and valleys,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Of your income. And, at the end of the day, if you're focused on where your next commission check is coming from, you can't be focused on the client at the level that they deserve.
Wow.
And so just know, if you put something in place like what we're talking about, of 3 strong days of lead generation,
Mm-hmm.
and know that that is your go-to, and you're going to be consistent with that, the how the money's coming in, how the business is going to come, that will take care of itself, because you're showing up, with consistency and strength.
Wow.
And that will eliminate, the peaks and valleys. So just to keep that in mind, because when you do the lead generation, then you get busy, like you were saying. You're attending to the business, servicing the business, and then it dries out because you didn't do the lead generation for that time frame you were in it. And so just to be mindful of the repercussions if you don't have that commitment to a schedule of some kind.
Wow. I mean, I love that, Stacy. And again, everybody, you're hearing it from a true practitioner. This is not somebody who read a book and is just, speculating into what might happen. I mean, you eat, sleep, and breathe this, Stacy. And that's what's so beautiful about it. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I encourage everybody who's watching or listening to, follow Stacy on social media, really get engaged. We'll have links down below. Again, talking about the course and the coaching and everything that's involved with Stacy's world. But Stacy, I can't thank you enough. This was so full of just incredible information. And yeah, it's just an honor to have you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so glad. I love sharing just, all the things that I have gone through, haven't worked and did work, so that you all don't have to go through, the ups and downs. You can just, soar. That's the vision, right?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And again, I can't thank you enough. And this is just an encouragement for everybody out there and such an inspiration. But Stacy, I really want to thank you again. And you are an official real estate titan, so I have to dub that in there. That's an official title. There's no plaques or trophies. I always say that, but it's there. It's in your heart. So, but thanks again so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah. And everybody out there, thank you as always for your time and attention, your love and support. If you like hear what we're doing with Real Estate Titans, don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do at this point. I do need to give our sponsor a quick shout out, Lionbolt Media. If you are in real estate and you're looking to grow your business dramatically with the technical aspect of, market exposure and lead generation, conversion, and nurturing, Visit Lionbolt Media on their Facebook page, and they have a new training video. It's absolutely free, pinned up at the top. You can watch that and learn more there. We are live every Tuesday afternoon, a different Titan, a different location. We'll catch everybody in the next live episode of Real Estate Titans. Take care. Thanks again, Stacy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.